Welcome to AdventureSphere. This channel is dedicated to missing people who are missing with a still missing vehicle. In the process of creating this database, we are creating a volunteer sonar search and recovery dive team to search for the people featured on our channel. Our services are free of charge. We ask you to consider subscribing, watch our content, and help spread awareness of our endeavor. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can be reached by dialing or texting 988 or 1-800-273-8255. Calls, texts are free and confidential. Every year, over 600,000 individuals go missing in the United States, according to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. While many are quickly found and returned to their families, others remain missing as years pass by. This is Kevin's story. This is also going to be, I think, the longest video I have to date, so there's a lot to get through. Kevin Michael Smith, then 26, is missing from Sherman Oaks, California. I think it should really be Inglewood. His last date of contact was Tuesday, November 8th, 2011 at 11 a.m. Kevin drove from Miami, Florida to Los Angeles to return his car to the dealership. Kevin drives a candy apple red, two-door, 2010 Nissan 370Z with California license plates 6ROS417. The VIN is JN1AZ4EH7AM505515. Kevin's story is like an onion with many layers and tears easily shed. Grab a glass of water and get comfy. Michael W. Smith served our country for many years. He and his wife Liz lived many places in the United States. Michael and Liz have 5 children: Robbie, Jason Daniel, Susan A. Stein, and Leah Smith. Jason followed in his father's steps, protecting and serving our great country. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service. A bit about Kevin. He went into nursing. The nursing profession has been the most trusted profession in the United States for decades. After nursing school, Kevin took a job as a personal assistant to Kenny Davis, who ran his company Kenny Davis Design and had clients such as Queen Latifah. Kenny let Kevin stay at his Miami residence for an unknown but seemingly lengthy period of time. Kevin started to develop a new relationship with someone in Miami. We're going to rewind just a bit. Kevin met and married Joanna. She and her family hail from the Philippines. Conditions on her U.S. citizenship was their marriage and having no criminal activity. This is where the fuzziness begins. Either or both Joanna and her mother cared for an elderly woman who had Alzheimer's. Because of the outcome, I'm going with Joanna's mother. I want to say this. I think Joanna's mother is the one who perpetrated the crimes. Joanna's mother had allegedly had an elderly woman sign loan documents for the red 2010 Nissan 370Z, the car that Kevin was in possession of. When the situation came to light, police suspected the woman to be a victim of fiduciary abuse. Investigators contacted Kevin in Florida and asked him to meet with Detective Sharon Stallworth with their fraud department. Kevin agreed to meet and get things straightened out. Kevin did not sign any documents or engage in any activity to obtain the car, but did have the car and was making payments on the loan. Needless to say, their marriage was on the rocks for some time, and Kevin separated from Joanna in July 2011. Kevin was very close with his family and friends. He was known to always be sociable. When Kevin's father underwent open heart surgery in 2010 and his mother developed high blood pressure, he made a vow to stay in contact with his parents near daily. On his way back to California, Kevin stopped by his parents, who lived in Fort Gordon, Georgia. It's about a 9-hour drive from Miami. From there, Kevin promised to stop in Arizona and see his nieces. After spending time with them, he went to Los Angeles and checked into the Adventurer Hotel in Inglewood, California on November 2nd, 2011. He phoned Detective Stallworth and spoke with her and set up an appointment for November 15th. I believe it was to answer questions about the loan documents, but I think Kevin may have needed to let them see the VIN number of the car. And then to rewind just a little bit again, when Kevin was in Florida, he missed a couple of loan payments and planned on surrendering the car back to the dealership he purchased it from in Los Angeles. After his meeting on the 15th, Kevin promised to see some of his friends in San Diego. So it's November 2nd. Kevin has the room at the Adventure Hotel in Inglewood and free time until November 15th. November 5th, Kevin drives 20 minutes north to an AT&T store to buy a new iPhone. Later that day, Kevin finds someone on Twitter who agreed to buy Kevin's old phone. Kevin's phone records show the name Andrew, and their last interaction was at 5:30 p.m. the day Kevin purchased his new phone. I do not know where the sale of Kevin's old phone took place. November 7th, Kevin texts a friend who lives in the area and asks if he can spend the night there because he was out of money and couldn't leave Los Angeles. November 7th, also, Kevin sent a picture message to a man who had a Craigslist ad to buy watches. Kevin owned a Movado watch worth approximately $3,000. There is a bit of a gray cloud to interject here. When Kevin left Florida to return to California, Kenny Davis failed to pay Kevin his wages. Kevin, as a personal assistant, had access to all of Kenny's financial accounts, and Kevin paid himself via theft through Kenny's bank accounts. I do not know if this occurred while Kevin was in Florida, on the road to California, or while he was at the Adventurer Hotel. I will also note now that Kevin liked casino games on Facebook, and in real life, he had spent a bit of time at the Hollywood Park Casino in Inglewood. It's less than a mile away from Kevin's hotel room. Back to the timeline. November 7th it could also be this November 8th. This general time, these 2 days, November 7th and 8th. The parents file a missing persons report with Detective Shivatelli because they hadn't heard from Kevin since he got his new phone and sent a Facebook message to everyone asking them to contact him so he could put their information in his new phone. November 7th, Kevin's last text to his friend Claudia Gomez, she agreed to let Kevin stay with her. Kevin never made it to her home. My questions. Did he actually sell his Movado? They could have seen his flashy car and taken everything from him. Where was that transaction happening? Question 2. Is his gambling addiction, I'm assuming it's addiction, is it so bad that he couldn't prepay his expenses of his hotel room and transportation to San Diego and to Florida? 3. Why not tell his parents if he's in trouble? Did they bail him out in the past and cut him off? I don't know. 4. Why didn't Kevin go to visit his friends in San Diego now and seeing about staying with them until November 15th when he was supposed to meet with the detectives again? And then 5, did Kevin take pictures of his VIN on his new phone? I would think in the meantime, Kevin could have gone to the police station and have someone take pictures of the car and the VIN to put it in his case file. So Kevin's parents immediately reached out to Kevin's friends and family to see if anyone had spoken with him recently. A friend said Kevin was to meet with a Filipina singer for concert tickets for her performance on November 9th. The surveillance tapes had already been erased by the time the venue Beyond the Stars Palace had been contacted. The facility has since permanently closed. We don't know how Kevin and the singer came to meet. We don't know if Kevin attended the concert or if he did or not. The manager family spoke with was described as helpful and very concerned. Getting kind of parched here, I'm sorry. November 8th, Detective Stallworth claims she spoke with Kevin on November 8th, 2011, and that he is on the run. Family maintains that he would not have driven from Florida to California to meet with the detective if he wanted to run. Things become fuzzy again. LAPD issued a warrant for Kevin to help with search efforts. However, Detective Shivatelli said that they weren't searching for him because he's a fugitive. Detective Stallworth said they planned to have an interview on November 15th, which meant there was no reason for a warrant. When the warrant was finally issued, it removed him from the missing persons unit and database. On November 15th, the Adventure Hotel. Someone named Kevin Smith paid cash to stay at the hotel. It's an unverifiable lead because of worker turnover, and the surveillance tapes were already recycled and reused. Did he attend the interview and something happened at the station? We don't know. Approximately November 23rd, 2 weeks after his disappearance, Kevin's estranged wife, Joanna, pays a fee to have Kevin's phone disconnected since he is missing. The next section I'm going to go in here gives a general timeline. Kenny reports Kevin to the police for the theft of his wages because banks wouldn't give him relief without reporting it to the police. Kenny stayed in close communication with Kevin's mom. Kenny moves Kevin's belongings out of his Miami home and refuses to tell Kevin's mom where the storage unit is. Kenny's allegedly talking with police in regards to Kevin's disappearance and convinces them that Kevin rarely spoke with his family. The next point. Janet becomes difficult for family to work with. It took 3 or 4 months for her to agree to give Kevin's family a copy of his cell phone records. When she finally agrees, Kevin's brother Jason drives from Arizona to Los Angeles for the phone record copies. Upon his arrival, he discovers Kenny's there. Kevin's family did not tell him they were going to Joanna's, so why was Kenny there? After the unknown visitor arrives at Joanna's, Kenny called Liz, Kevin's mother, and was very confrontational and said some insensitive things to her. The unexpected visitor freaked Kenny out enough that he refused to give Kevin's possessions to Liz from storage. Kenny cut off all communication with Kevin's mom when she couldn't tell him who all was investigating Kevin's disappearance. Is it normal for employers to be that involved and concerned for an employee? I don't know. Was he holding on to Kevin's possessions because of the theft for his wages? Kevin was late paying his loan at least twice for his car. Were the late payments because Kenny was habitually late paying Kevin his wages? We may never know. Family thinks Joanna told Kenny that someone was coming for some paperwork. When the warrant for Kevin was finally issued, he was charged with 5 counts of elderly abuse related to the car he was driving. His disappearance resulted in a bench warrant for failure to appear to court for the charges. Kevin's family believes he was being pressured to provide information which would have secured a stronger conviction of his estranged mother-in-law. Kevin was the only person who could provide these details. Kevin told his mom that he contacted his mother-in-law as soon as he got to Los Angeles and informed her that he planned to speak with the authorities. It baffles me as to why Kevin would give her a heads up. A friend of the family drove all around Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, and Utah, hanging missing posters about Kevin in gas stations and post offices. Psychics have reached out to Kevin's family offering their beliefs. Van Nuys, California was one town that was mentioned. In 2012, Kevin's mother-in-law was eventually charged with 2 counts of elderly abuse and forgery. She pled guilty to elderly abuse, and the forgery charge was dismissed. I'm thinking she didn't spend a whole lot of time in jail or prison. When LAPD told Kevin's family that someone else said that they were told about the family estrangement, the family provided phone records and Facebook posts that proved otherwise, that they were in contact nearly every day. Around 2013 to 2014, Kevin's mother-in-law stated she served Kevin divorce papers at her house after he was missing for over 2 years. I personally think Kevin and Joanna needed to be married for 2 years for her citizenship purposes. Kevin's mother went on to say she's seen the paperwork and Kevin didn't sign it. She doesn't understand why Joanna did it that way when she could have gotten the divorce without his signature. Again, I'm speculating. It probably has something to do with the citizenship, or perhaps the lawyer could make more money if they didn't present the non-signature option. Joanna told the police he was probably in Mexico. His mother said he really likes Asian women, and when Liz, Mike, Jason, and Kevin lived in San Diego, Kevin had zero interest in going to Mexico. Was Kevin's passport or the border crossings checked for Kevin to go down to Mexico? I don't know. In a 2013 entry, family stated the LAPD did not ping Kevin's phone or subpoena the phone records because they want to question him regarding a fraudulent transaction. Family provided LAPD a copy of his phone record showing the 7-minute call that Kevin had with Detective Stallworth. August 10th, 2015, family posts that Kevin's boss, Kenny Davis, died unexpectedly from a heart attack. Family believes he was the last missing piece of He was the last missing piece besides Kevin's ex-wife, who could tell them what happened to Kevin. This is where we should come in. But wait, there's more. In 2021, family disclosed that they hired a private investigator. 1, Kevin booked his hotel room through Expedia. 2, almost all of the businesses Kenny was purported to have owned were non-existent as far as legal records were concerned. The only legitimate business was the one that Kevin managed. Kenny was in trouble with the IRS. And then 3, the final report from the private investigator revealed that Kevin's car did not have any type of legal activity on it since Kevin's disappearance. Let's see here. So I do have some questions. Is Kevin an early bird or a night owl? Did he give any possessions away, perhaps at the final visit at his parents' home or with his nieces? Does he prefer to drive on main roads or surface streets, like neighborhood streets? Is he accustomed to driving at night? Were the license plate readers checked for his plates with the automated readers? Did he put any calls into AAA, his mechanic, or the car insurance provider within a day or two of going missing? Are there any items that he always carried with him? We know about the Movado watch. Does he have a pocket knife on him, a multi-tool, a ring, a necklace, anything else? Does he have any chronic health issues, such as being diabetic, epileptic, any head trauma? Does he take any medications regularly? If he does take them regularly, did they call his pharmacy that was on the bottles to see if it was refilled anywhere? It might give us a passive way to try to find him. And then what was the place of his last verified financial transaction? A date and time might help us. The places I'm going to mention next are shared with my blessing, so Kevin can be reunited with his family, regardless who higher powers work through. The description box has our email address if you'd like to share insight on any case, know someone missing with a vehicle and would like them featured on our channel and searched for, or to donate equipment. The video of Google Earth has a measurement from our current best starting location and goes out to possible search areas. We focus on bodies of water that are within 5 miles of their last known location and within 5 miles of their destination. If an area has been heavily searched, we may expand the search area, but please keep in mind that accidents tend to happen closer to home. So right around the casino and the hotel, the two locations are 0.7 miles apart. So there's Rivers Lake, which is 3,000 feet from the hotel and casino. There's the Magic Johnson Park, Alondra Park. There's the West Basin Municipal Water. I think it's unlikely, but worth a check. And then the Gwenmore Lake. And then I have the second part of the video going up to the Sherman Oaks location from where his cell phone was purchased. There are a bunch of possibilities here. We've got Stone Canyon Reservoirs. There's 2 of them there. The Encino Reservoir, Lake Balboa, the Hansen Dam Aquatic Center looks very possible. The Franklin Canyon Reservoir was dry at the time that the satellites captured this imagery, and the Sepulveda Dam is also dry. And then there's water west of Interstate 5 and northwest of the Sheldon Arletta Park. So I mentioned earlier that every day 1,600 people go missing in the United States. Your donation brings closure to families with missing loved ones, like Kevin, by helping us to secure equipment and getting us to locations all around the United States where missing people may be found using cutting-edge sonar technology. We can either bring the missing family member home if we find them on sonar, or we can tell them that we searched these bodies of water from here to there and their vehicle is not in there. Our mobile unit is able to assist families in small towns that need the high-end sonar equipment and diving services. We can also assist large cities as adjunct professionals. We help families, area government, cleanup efforts, and other public safety entities free of charge. When you donate to AdventureSphere, you ensure that volunteers can continue to give the missing their voices back. Thank you for whatever support you can give us. If you'd like to help Kevin's family find him, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and ring the notification bell to receive progress reports. There's about 2 minutes left. I'm going to let the video play out so you can see the entire search area. If you see something that I missed, please let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and remember that we love you.